Are you struggling with close range fights and winning games? Well, don't worry, because I have the top 5 close range weapons in Warzone 2 that's going to help ascend your gameplay and turn those losses into wins. And I'll be giving you the best class setups for each weapon. And the 5th best close range weapon is the Minibak, aka the Bison. The best part about this gun is that it has a base magazine of 64, meaning you don't have to waste an attachment on an extended mag, and it also has the fastest reload time for any submachine gun paired with that giant magazine. Then it has a good but not great time to kill at 552 milliseconds, but it has amazing range for a submachine gun at 14 meters. This is just a good all-around sub that is easy to use, and the setup is going to start off with the SYNcard MKV muzzle, which we're going to tune to have recoil smoothness, and we're not going to be touching the bottom part because we don't need bullet velocity on an SMG, and aiming idle stability isn't really a big deal, so I'm just going to leave that as it is. Then we're going to use the back 9 279mm barrel, and for the tuning we're going to make the recoil steadiness as nice as possible, that way we can hit our shots easily. And then I'm not going to touch the damage range in the ADS because I don't want to hurt the range, but I don't want to hurt the ADS either, so we're going to leave it as it is. Next up, we're going to use this Choreo laser, and you can't tune it, so nothing to do there. Then we're going to use this VLK stockless stock, which gives us ADS speed, sprint to fire, movement, and hip fire recoil, and all these things are maxing out its close range abilities. And there's no way to tune it, so we're not touching that. Then we use this True Tack grip, and what we do for the tuning is we're going to make the sprint to fire speed max out because the aiming idle stability isn't really a big deal, but sprint to fire is huge on close range weapons. Moving to the 4th best close range weapon, it's going to be the Kastov 74U. And yes, that's an assault rifle, but it excels up close. It has the same time to kill and fire rate as the Minibak, which are 552 milliseconds and 652 rounds per minute, respectively. But it actually will have a 22 meter range instead, making it one of the best sniper supports as well. And if you would believe it, the 74U actually has a better aim down sight speed than that Minibak we were just talking about, even though it's an assault rifle. I just really don't understand its classification. But if you want a sub with great range, you might as well use this setup right here. We're going to start off with the Echoless 80 muzzle, which we're going to tune it to have recoil smoothness, and then we're not going to touch the bottom section once again. Then we're going to use the BR209 barrel, and we're going to tune it to have max recoil steadiness, and we're going to give it ADS speed because it's already really strong at that, so we might as well make it better. And the damage range is already 22 meters, and we're only using it up close, so it's okay if we hurt that by half a meter. Now we'll use the FSS OL V laser, and that's going to give us some ADS speed and sprint to fire, all things that are going to be really beneficial to a close range build. And then next we're going to use this VX Pineapple underbarrel because it's going to help with our recoil, and then I'm going to max out the ADS speed because hipfire accuracy on an AR already isn't fantastic, so I might as well just go into its strong suit of aim down sight speed with the tuning. And then finally we go with the 45 round mag because that is going to help us get more damage per mag, and it just makes it perform a lot better. If you're finding this video helpful, please make sure to like the video because it really helps me out, and subscribe if you want to see some more Warzone content just like this. Now, the 3rd best close range weapon is any akimbo pistol. They're all super overpowered and stupid. They're completely broken TTK wise and extremely easy to use. We're going to have these Basilisks that perform exactly like the 357 snake shots at the beginning of Warzone 1, or you could go with any other pistol you want, and they'll just have a little bit more range on them. Either way, if you want to have no skill eliminations inside of buildings, just use an akimbo pistol before they nerf them. And I'm going to give you the Basilisk setup because these are my favorite. They only have 5 rounds in the chamber, but they just are absolutely insane inside of like 6, 7, 8 meters. And we go with snake shot and the akimbo attachment, of course. Then we're going to go with the Bryson hair trigger because it helps our fire rate. And then from here, I'm going to max out the recoil smoothness because we can't aim down sight speed because they're akimbo. There's no ADS on the gun. And then from here, I'm also going to be increasing the sprint to fire speed. Super important on akimbo weapons that you need to use in super close quarters. And next up, we're going to use this 10.5 FTAC arrow barrel. And then once again, we're going to be increasing the damage range because we don't have any ADS. And then from there, we're going to use the Basilisk grip laser, and all this does is it helps our hip fire accuracy, and these things absolutely busted. If you want to have fun in solos or duos, these are the weapons to go to. The 2nd best close range weapon is the Lachmann sub, aka the MP5. You already knew it was going to be good just because it's an MP5. It has the 2nd best time to kill among SMGs in Warzone 2 at 525 milliseconds. It will also have the 2nd fastest fire rate at 800 rounds per minute, and the fastest aim down sight speed at 200 milliseconds, making it very forgiving to use because missing shots doesn't affect the TTK as much as the previous weapons on this list would. The only thing holding it back is going to be it only has 9 meters of range before the time to kill falls off, and that is worse than every other weapon on this list. Its lack of versatility is why it's at 2 instead of number 1, but it's amazing inside of buildings with this setup, So we're going to start off with the 50 round drum because we need it for our damage per mag so we can handle bigger teams of 3 and 4. Then we go with the VX Pineapple because this obviously helps our recoil as well as our hipfire accuracy. And I actually tune it to help the ADS speed because personally, as a controller player, I like to aim down sight with my weapon more. But if you like hipfire, you could just tune it the other direction. Then we're going to use this AscendAR muzzle because it gives us sound suppression as well as damage range, and I think that's a big benefit to something that's really limited in the range category. And then I don't do anything to tune it. And then we're going to use this VLK LZR laser, and that's going to be ADS and sprint to fire, and those are super important on close range weapons as we've already gone over. And finally go with this LM stockless mod, and once again this is just sprint speed, movement speed, hip fire, and ADS. This is giving it all the mobility stats, which is everything you need for something that is only good up close. Now I'd like to give 2 quick honorable mentions that will go to the Vasev 9K and the FSS Hurricane. The Vasev is just a slightly worse Lachmann sub, and the Hurricane is just a slightly worse 74U. And I'd only use this Hurricane as a sniper support, and I'll give that build to you as a bonus right now. So for the sniper support build, since we don't actually have a magazine we can put on with it, it already has 50 rounds, we're just going to add this Cronin Mini Pro because it's an absolute beam of an SMG and it has good range. So this just allows us to use it out to 25-30 meters easily, and then it's great to pair with your sniper. And from there, we're going to try to get some movement and some accuracy on it. So for movement, we go with this Demo Quicksilver, and this is just going to be our ADS and sprint speed going up. Next, we got the Scraggler Peck Box Laser. I don't know if I said that right, hopefully, but it's just some aim down sight speed with no con, so I find it to be really nice. And then from there, we got this AscendAR muzzle like we had before, and then this VX Pineapple. I'm going to tune it to have ADS speed again because we're not just only trying to use it within like 5 to 10 meters, we're trying to use it out to 30, so the ADS speed is way better than the hipfire in my opinion. And the best close range weapon is the Fennec. There was never a doubt that this was going to be number 1 because it's grossly overpowered with the best time to kill and fire rate at 495 milliseconds and 1091 rounds per minute respectively. It also is going to have 12 meters of range, which is shockingly much better than that MP5 we just went over. The Fennec is just better than the MP5 in every way outside of the bullet velocity, which doesn't matter when you're only using these weapons in close range combat. The Fennec is a problem when you're not using it, and this should be everyone's go-to SMG for the foreseeable future. And let's just hop into that class setup. We gotta go with the 45 round mag, which is really the only con to this thing, because your damage per mag will be a little bit lower, but since it's so strong in every other category, it's not a big deal. Then you've probably seen this attachment before, the VX Pineapple, and you already know what I'm gonna do. ADS speed because I don't like to hip fire, but if you do, switch it the other direction. And then we go with the SenGuard MKV muzzle, which we go recoil smoothness, and then I don't touch the other section. And once again, we got this VLK LZR laser, which is just going to be ADS and sprint to fire speed. And then finally, we got this Agile Assault Stock, which is going to be our sprint speed, crouch movement, and ADS speed. This SMG is going to have you running fast and eliminating people quickly. And if you guys are curious what to pair these SMGs with, I have a video for the top 5 long-range weapons right here, so click on that next if you want to be winning some more games. Peace.